everybody, and welcome to your Indie Snapshot for today. Today, we're taking a look at a game that just released today and is only available through the IndieBundle.com, I believe. It's not the Humble Indie Bundle, it's a separate bundle. I will, of course, link it in the description below. And it will be only available through that for a short period of time, and then it will release on the PC and on Xbox Live Indie Arcade. And that game is DIEHard Dungeon, a real-time roguelike with some really unique twists. It's kind of an interesting mix between your typical roguelike and The Binding of Isaac, just from perspective, actually. Other than that, it's actually got a lot of unique features, kind of that I haven't seen before, but does stick to the tried-and-true roguelike kind of real-time genre without going too far out of the box. So without further ado, let's get right into playing, and I'm going to talk about the game as we play. So we're playing, as far as I know, is non-existent. You're playing this guy who looks like a pirate. I did try to look it up online on the website. I don't think there's really a story to it. That's fine. Doesn't need to be one to make an exciting and fun game. You are told to wake up, and you are going to wake up inside what is presumably the dungeon you are going to be crawling through for the rest of the game. The idea is to get from... Every room has a door that is locked. You are to unlock the door for that room and proceed to the next. Each one allowing you to get to the next harder, more difficult part of the dungeon. You start with 5 hearts, and you're told the basics. WASD moves, and you just bring the key over here and unlock the door. Pretty simple. The first thing I want to comment on is the most obvious thing. After this is going to give me my weapon. And that's going to be the graphics. So it's obviously top-down, but it presents a pixelated art style to you, but not in the pixel art kind of way that you would think of old-school games, something like Starseed Pilgrim. More of like an SNES era of graphics, with maybe a tinge of a bit more retro feel to it. I like it. The sound design is extremely basic, as you're going to hear. Not exactly the best. It doesn't do anything poorly, but it doesn't do anything that blows my mind, like, you gotta hear the sound. Oh my god, the soundtrack is great. Oh man, the sound design is phenomenal. It's passable. It's serviceable. Again, nothing great. So as we're going to go, so we got a weapon. It taught us how to use it. We get a sword right off the bat. Just left mouse button, we'll click it and we'll attack in the direction we're facing. You can only right now with melee face north, south, east, and west. I was going to say W, A, S, and D, but you knew what I was saying. So we're going to go on to the next part. It is literally just going through the typical do this and get that. As far as I can tell, the dungeon is randomly generated, I think, after the initial basic stuff, but outside of that, I can't say for certain, because again, information on the game seems to be pretty hard to come by. So again, that's gonna be the general way this game plays. Go in a room, kill enemies, find key, unlock door, leave room, next floor, and that is generally the gist of it. There's some unique twists to it. This chest is gonna be following us around. In order to pick up money and loot, you actually have to have the chest with you, and that presents an interesting idea to the general way of you would do things. Usually you would collect the money, but instead we have this chest companion. What does that mean? As far as I can tell, nothing. The chest does upgrade, but I'm not sure what that does. The game does not do a good job of making that at all obvious. We're going to come across big I would call these mini boss monsters. We're going to get our second weapon here, which is going to be used with the right mouse button to aim it, and then we can have free roaming aim, and left mouse button to shoot it. It's going to be our cannon. Again, a very pirate-like. We can keep firing cannonballs at this guy until his shield breaks, if that's how we want to play it. I have had that happen before, and there it goes. Shield busts, and now he's going to block with his sword. But he's going to make himself vulnerable by doing that, and he's going to drop a heart as they typically do. Now, all my hearts are full. If I was missing a heart, this would just replenish the missing heart that I had. But since all my hearts are full, it's going to give us an extra heart. So cool mechanic there to try to avoid damage in order to boost up your life. We're also going to kill blue candles. Killing blue candles gives you a key. You collect 10 golden keys and something happens. This thing here says, hello, champions only, stop hitting me, ouch. And it says if you collect 10 keys, you're gonna get champion, whatever that means, and we can kill these dudes. I'm not quite sure what happens when you kill these guys. I accidentally never killed them before. We're gonna try and kill this guy here. There we go. I think literally if you just do this, it just gets annoyed eventually and just keeps summoning things. Maybe not. Maybe they're just literally there to give you damage. Kind of a punishing thing. So here's an interesting aspect of the game. One that I don't quite understand why the choice is presented to you. One doesn't seem harder than the other. I think there's separate paths that offer different types of treasure and potentially a different final boss. We have the choice to go up to the dungeon and down to the underground. I have gone pretty far in the dungeon. Underground not so much because I haven't tried it so much. So let's go down into the underground and see what this possesses for us. So we're going to get immediately greeted with some weird rock that we can bust. I'm going to bust open the rock. And this here, whoop. So this skull crates, essentially, can hold sometimes monsters, sometimes special monsters that hold money, sometimes that's exactly what it dropped. Sometimes it can hold a golden key, guarded by a monster, but always seems to have something that is going to be guarded by a monster, and oh my good lord. So there's lots of slimes in the underground. This was actually the problem I had last time, is actually the underground kind of kicked my ass, because there were so many slimes that it just surrounded me with. And I might regret that decision coming down here. Just because there's so many slimes. So we're gonna hit that switch, and we're just gonna progress through this level and see what it ends up bringing for us. Whoop, there we go. As you can see, the chest does collect the money. The only thing that the chest has done, like I said, outside of upgrading and obviously not doing much when upgraded outside of changing color, which we might be able to see this indie snapshot, is it gets attacked by certain little blue monsters, and those little blue monsters will just corner until you save it. A mild inconvenience at best, or at most. Nothing really to write home about. I actually... Whoops. I haven't really noticed it become a huge inconvenience when that happens. It's just me going back and killing the monsters that are cornering it that avoid you as the player for the most part, and only go after the chest. A curious choice. I'm curious why they do that. I don't think they steal money. Again, they haven't made that clear. The tutorials are what you've seen. There are no other tutorials outside of how the game begins. So I'm going to sit here and try and kill this thing off without getting too close, except it's going to poison me. There's a good chance I'm going to die here, and if that's the case, maybe we should just go to the dungeon. I think we're just going to go to the dungeon. I think Underground might be a bit too difficult, and maybe the Underground is saved for those who are ready for the Underground. So we're going to go back here, hit play, go right back at it. Can't skip this cutscene, unfortunately. Overall, I'm having a really good time with the game. It's a lot of fun. The roguelike elements are really fun, especially when we come across some treasure. I want to show you how they give treasure in this game. You don't really have a choice as to what you get. Unlike Isaac, where you see an item, you go, I want it, or I don't want it, or Dreadmore, or any game like that, Sword of the Stars, The Pit. You actually don't have a choice. It's completely randomized, and it's kind of got this cool little slot machine element to it. Again, if we see it, I don't want to talk about it unless we see it. If we don't end up seeing it in the snapshot, then I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm just going to tell you how it works. So again, this is how the game starts every single solitary time. Nothing special there. That's kind of how Isaac works as well. How it just... Ooh, we got a heart there? That was a really awesome drop to get that early. But yeah, how Isaac works. In that it starts the same, it's easy every single time. We got the key we need, which we can throw if we absolutely need to. I'm going to kind of cut this up here. Let's see if I can throw the key into the lock. Nope, I cannot. So we can just unlock here, but I'm not going to go yet. I want to bust open all these crates in case another heart drops. Yeah, wow, holy crap. 2 extra life in this first room. That is really, really rare and really awesome. So these are little blue monsters I was talking about that kind of chase the chest, but not you. Again, you probably saw it when I first started here, but I get to see it again. Next room, we should be getting our gun, because we're going to have Big Fatty over here in our way. Grab our hand cannon, as they call it. One thing I also want to talk about here is the enemy design is actually relatively varied. I'm actually really impressed with how varied the game is, especially for a game I actually have never heard of. I don't expect much from that kind of thing. But to see such enemy variation throughout the game is actually really nice, and they all behave in very particular ways. You can learn how they behave, which I really like. Again, a sign of a good roguelike is a good mix of random chance and skill. So we're going to get the golden key here, and we're going to move on. So we're going to go into the dungeon, the upper part. Dungeon, not underground. I think the skull just shows where you died last time you played. Since I was in the underground, I died, obviously, down there, so that skull there means that's where I last played and actually died. So we're going to get some treasure. Rings, as far as I can tell, they drop a lot of them. They don't do anything. They're not items. Again, items only come in the form of the way the loot is distributed in this game. And it's a very special way, which we're going to show. Wow, I've gotten a lot of health here. Oh, good. Actually, wow, we got item right away. So here's how loot works in this game. We're going to try not to... Oops, I destroyed the chest. You can destroy the chest, by the way. I did not think about that all the way through, which is silly. And, of course, my chest is being chased. Let's save him. Oh, that sucks. That could have been such... Oh, wow. I'm really smacking myself for that choice. We're going to move around here. Now, that is a trap. That big circle thing, if I step on it, these spikes will shoot out. What do we got in here? Just a danger, unfortunately. So, we're not going to see how the treasure works yet. Hopefully we will soon. Treasure, as far as I can tell, is actually kind of rare. You don't get it too often. Sometimes hits will force you to drop your weapon. That's what it was telling me there. So that's why you'll drop your weapon. Again, something that seems to be just a minor inconvenience overall. My chest is just running around like a monster. I'm just going to grab that. The key there. We got 3 keys. Whoop, almost stepped on that. Traps, on the other hand, the only trap I've seen is those spiked wall traps, but they can hurt bad guys too. So if you can get a guy to get on it, which I have been able to do it with bosses, it's actually really, really useful. There we go. Come on, chest. We got a lot of shit to collect. I should use my hand cannon more, but I like using my melee weapon as much as possible because the hand cannon's cannon physics can be a bit unreliable. Luckily, the cannonballs don't hurt you. They just knock you back. So we'll go to the next floor and see what the next one pertains. Another thing I really would like to see, and as far as I can tell, it's just a general complaint. I mean, this holds up true for Binding of Isaac and a lot of roguelikes, is that the tile set for dungeons and floors themselves are relatively repetitive. Not a lot of variety, but it doesn't really detract from the gameplay at all. It's just a nitpicky gripe for something I'm having a lot of fun with. Ah, these blue things. Are you kidding me? Come here. They teleport to the frickin' chest. There we go. So we're gonna knock these apart. A lot of crates. They hold us a lot of money. I'm not quite sure what money is useful for, if anything, to be honest with you. Did we really not get all the switches? Where did we miss one? Let's look around, I guess. Oh, we gotta hit this. This is a switch. So sometimes to open a door, you won't necessarily have a key, but you have to hit switches. Sometimes the switches will be on the floor, like you've seen. Other times it'll be a dangerous thing that you gotta hit without getting hit. Like that spinning spike thing that had a switch on it. Very Zelda-like. Alright, so if we could find some health, that would be really great, since we're down 3 health containers. And as you can see, even though once you pick up all those extra hearts, they become permanent. They become part of your upgrades, very much like Zelda or Isaac would be. Oh, we gotta get out of there. And my chest is, of course, being attacked. We're gonna try and save him here, and we were able to save him. Come on, chest. Come on, fatty. McTubberson. There we go. That little green thing, you don't want to kill right away. And the reason for that is it'll run around and drop a whole lot of money for you. But if you end up killing it, it'll only drop what it initially dropped before you killed it, obviously. So another cool little monster to learn about. Again, really wish I knew what treasure was useful for outside of maybe a high score that I feel is unnecessary in this kind of game. I'm not a high score, well, maybe not unnecessary. I'm not a score attack kind of guy. Your feet are on fire. Oops, I stepped on some fire, and now since I didn't move fast enough, I became fire. And I took some damage at the end, and I might end up dying here. I'm spurting blood everywhere. I'm just gonna fire, whoop. I'm gonna fire off a bunch of rocks over here. I really wanted to kill him. See if we can kill him off. If we could get him to, whoop. We gotta be really careful. It's not over yet. This little green thing doesn't do much. At least it doesn't seem to do much. We gotta be careful, like I said. Did we kill him? Alright, we killed him. I'm gonna start firing rockets down here. This is where the hand cannon becomes incredibly useful, because you need to be very careful about what you're doing with your life so you don't get killed. Like we might be getting killed here in a minute. I think we killed him. There we go. Okay, I probably shouldn't have hit that melee style. Oh, there's secret rooms. I meant to mention this. Sometimes there's secret rooms. And what you gotta do is, depending on what it does, it usually gives you a secret, like so. And it'll warp you into a room. Sometimes it'll have treasure, sometimes it'll be a monster fight. Like this. Hive mind. 4 heads are better than 1? Great. Haven't fought this mini boss yet. Let's hit OK here. And see what exactly this boss fight's all about. Okay. We'll try to avoid this. Oh god, we almost got pinned. Hopefully this will give us some, treasures. If we can keep doing this, though, that'll be awesome. We can... Oh, I'm gonna die. I shouldn't have gone that way. Excellent boss design. That was kind of cool monster where every time I hit it, it releases a monster and then goes into spinning mode. Let's give it one more retry, and then I'll wrap up on my thoughts on the game. Overall, as you can tell, I'm having a lot of fun. Oh, we got some treasure! When you retry, you get treasure. A perfect time to retry. So, here's how loot works. You'll find these green chests. They'll have a question mark on them. You hit space to open it. It will then give you a gambling. You might get 0, 1, 2, or 3 chances. And if we hit a space at the right time, I got 1 chance. So I'm going to get 1 piece of loot. And unfortunately, nothing matched up, so I didn't get anything. But if it did match up, those 2 sword things actually extend the reach and the damage of my sword. Obviously, the +2 hearts will give me +2. I've had one upgrade that'll give me every time I attack with my sword, it'll follow up with a knife attack, a thrown knife attack. Things that augment my cannon's abilities, etc., etc. Really cool way to do loot. You could make out like a friggin' bandit and become immediately more powerful, or you could completely get screwed and miss out altogether. So we're going to start from here again, and we're going to try and just attack him with my cannon until he drops his shield, which it should be in the next hit or 2. I'm just waiting for him. There it is! Okay, now I got hit. Okay, he died. He's going to give us a heart. Unfortunately, it wasn't on extra life because we were already missing a heart container. So we're going to go down here, we're going to grab whatever the golden key that it gives us, and hopefully gives us, getting 10 gives us a champion. I don't know what that means, but I want to know what it means. So we're going to go up top to the dungeon again, because I've done the best in the dungeon so far, and we're going to hopefully make some progress this time. Hopefully we'll come across some treasure, I can get something cool to show off. It's unfortunate that I haven't. And there we go. So as you can see, or as you can probably hear, perhaps you'll hold the same sentiments as I do. Maybe you think I'm an idiot. But the sound design, not exactly excellent. Again, it's serviceable. And there's a good example of an enemy stepping on the trap. It's serviceable. It does its job. But the sword blows don't exactly hold the weight I would like. In fact, the only thing that I actually kind of like is the way the sound the crates kind of make when they break. It's a weird thing to like, I know. But I do like it. I don't know. I don't have an actual reason as to why. And I don't think this is a good reason to destroy all the monsters. I just like to do it sometimes. So let's move on to the next floor and see what the next floor can bring us. Hopefully riches and treasure. I would love to get something that's going to give us a big damage out boost. I would love to see something that's going to kind of burst our damage up into a higher set here. Let's see if we can get this key over here without dying. There we go. So we're going to get that. And if he walks into... Oh, he walked into the trap, which is what I was hoping for. We could just move on to the next. Alright. Oh, ow, that hurt. And he made me drop my sword. Explosions seem to make me drop my sword the most. Good, another golden key. There we go. We might want to not get ourselves attacked. We can actually use these against the enemy, obviously, by just bouncing them constantly to the enemy. There we go, like so, but I think that hits us as well. What we're going to do is attack him. I want to explore the rest of this floor. I think I missed some back here. Whoa. Yep, it's treasure. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So let's see if I get anything good. Let's try not to use the cannonballs around it. There we go. Alright, we're going to get 2 chances for some treasure. Rage. I don't even know what this is. Do some damage. Okay. Whoa, I don't know what that is, but that looks horrible. So I'm going to get what's probably temporary rage here. I'm obviously a lot faster. But this might be... And it probably is a temporary boost to my my power. So we want to kind of try and take out as many enemies as we can before it all runs out. And we're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. I'm firing a lot faster, I think, too, which is awesome. If we can just kind of use this rage to the best of our ability before we end up dying, I'll be quite happy. Yep, our rage is already out. So, yep, that was a temporary boost. That's unfortunate. Permanent boost would be the best. If we can just kill this guy, that'd be awesome. Come on. There we go. Alright, perfect. Any secret rooms? Sometimes you actually have to just kill all the enemies before you can leave. I am going to bust this crate open in case it has a heart in it. Looks like all I had was danger and death. My favorite kind of Christmas present. Alright, so I would love a heart right now. I will fire cannonballs at that just to avoid whatever is potentially in there. Which is just a bunch of blue monsters that don't really do much. Bam, itchy nose, okay. Moving on. We got a lot of treasure here. Again, I wish I knew what the treasure did. And there's not really much on the game right now because, again, it's brand new. So, this guy walked into a trap, obviously. That's why he's hurt. If I could just keep pushing him into said trap, I'll be happy. There we go. Killed him. Couldn't have asked for a better outcome there. And can we just kill this guy, too? When he's swirling around like that, you can't really do much, but... There we go. No, still didn't. So close. Did we? Okay, I think we got it in that time. So let's bring the key. We're actually doing pretty well, only on 1 heart. I would expect us to be dead by now, but not too shabby. we're getting pretty decently. If we make it to the boss, though, I don't expect us to live. The boss that I faced wasn't hard, but I definitely took some hits on the first boss. Absolutely took some hits. Just because of the way it attacks, it's kind of like a mini bullet hell in order to deal with, but it's fine. We can just... Oh, we got an extra life. Oh, wow, we might actually make it a little bit further. That's a trap, not a switch that I want to step on. Let's move on. If we can just kill him off before having to do anything, that'd be great. Alright, we got him. We unlock the door, and we can move onward. Oh, you know what I think the money does? It helps... the more the chest collects, the closer he is to upgrading. I think that just dawned on me. I think money equals upgrade for our chest, which... Again, I don't know what it does. As far as I could tell, it doesn't do crap, but maybe it will later with further upgrades. Oh, he's gonna... There we go, we got him back. I was like, he's gonna run away on us now. And we definitely have a switch that we're gonna have to hit here. Oh, Jesus. I would love to... Ah! I died. Either way, I think that's gonna wrap up my, my look here at... DIEHard Dungeon, that's what it's called. I was like, wait a minute, what's the name of the game? There's another mode called Mayhem. All it is just high score attack. You're just in a room full of monsters. You kill as many monsters as you can within 5 minutes, and you have a score at the end. That's all I could tell. But DIEHard Dungeon is a lot of fun. I'm actually very, very surprised. Again, you get in the indie bundle that I'll hook up below. I think it's Indie Gala, maybe. It's a lot of fun. Definitely worth checking out. I don't know the price it's going to be because they haven't really said. You can get it right now for about $5.30, and you get this in like 5 other indie games, so definitely worth checking out. Really, really fun. Though my minor complaints aside, it definitely holds up well. The gameplay's tight, the monsters are well and varied, the loot is fun, and I like the kind of gambling way they do the loot distribution in the game, so definitely worth checking out. This has been DIEHard Dungeon. Thank you so much for swinging by, and I hope to see you guys next time here on Indie Snapshot. I'll see you later.